Stephen, we're here a day after the defeat to Salzburg, and penalties was obviously such a tough way to lose, but how would you reflect on it almost 24 hours on?
I think when we look back in the campaign as a whole, it's important not to kind of just focus on in the last game. It's when we came into the tournament, a lot of the boys had never experienced the UEFA Youth League before. Obviously we had Kyle Ewer and Mitchell Robertson and Lenny Agbear had played in it previously, Josh Deddy as well. So we knew how tough a challenge it was going to be, but when you analyse the full campaign, the performances have been excellent. I think we spoke to them before the campaign started about just competing in the tournament. You're coming up against the best sides in Europe, so we wanted to make sure that we competed in every game. And I think there was probably, when we reflect back to the second game against Dortmund, the first 10-15 minutes we started the game really well. We lost Thomas Hatton to a really serious injury, which kind of took the wind out of our sails a wee bit, and then after that game we never really covered, after that moment within the game we never really fully recovered. But that was a real warning for the players to know when you're not 100% at it every single moment, every single game, you'll get punished against top opposition. So we kind of worked back the way from there, and every game that we've played since, whether it's been at home, whether it's been away, we've tried to focus on how we always try and play. We're very firm on the principles of our play that we try and stick to, no matter who the opposition is. We try and play that way, and it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of bravery, because we're asking boys to play under extreme pressure. We're asking them to run, we're asking them to penetrate at the top end of the pitch, we're asking them to the opposite wingers to get on the opposite side to try and get early finishes and early crosses, and they've done that in every game that we've played, and yesterday was no different. We knew how tough an opposition Salzburg were going to be, but we came into the game, we were full of confidence. The boys have progressed really well, and they've developed in this tournament and domestically as well, because they're playing against men every single week as well. You see that we spoke after the game about two of the boys have moved on. Lenny's obviously went on loan to Ayr United, and Josh Deddy's went permanent to Middlesbrough. So it's another opportunity. And Hayden Bolland came in, I think he's only played maybe 3 games. Marcus Gill came in for Aidan Rice. So the boys have come in and coped with it remarkably well.
It was a good game, I think to take a team like Salzburg to penalties is obviously a good thing for us as a team, but again, to lose in that way is a tough one to take. But again, the boys are kind of happy with how we perform, but again, when we lose, it's not a good feeling.
Yeah, this level of European competition, you always know it's going to be a tough game, particularly going up against a side who's unbeaten in this competition so far. But how do you think yourself and the boys fared against them?
I think looking into the kind of stats and stuff, I think they're 2 strikers, they're 2 danger men, but I think we dealt with them well. And then they're a team that like to get on the ball, and when their counter press is the best we've seen when we watched them before, and I think we dealt with it well. I think at times obviously we struggled, but kind of adapted to it quite quick, and again, Mick and Johnny helped us through the game, so it was good.
Part of their development is getting challenged. Part of the development is being on the pitch and feeling what it's like to play in pressurised situations. A lot of players, the younger lads, when they come through our club, they win a lot of football matches. They dominate the ball, whether that's coming up for under 12s, 13s, 14s. They spend a lot of time within the game dominating the ball, and the games are comfortable. The higher the level you go up, the closer you get to our first team, it's completely different, because you need to be able to run, you need to be able to compete physically, you need to be able to cope with the way the game is going, and you also need to play the way that we are asking the boys to play, which it's really hard work, but it's also, you need to be really brave. I look at the centre backs and the goalkeeper, and throughout, Mitch Robertson, again, I think this is his 3rd campaign in the UEFA Youth League. We brought him up earlier in the first campaign that we're involved with, so he's got tremendous experience with it at this level. But because he's now playing along somebody who's 3 years younger than him, he's then had to develop his game to the next level as well, which again, he's having to concentrate on his game, but he's also having to influence the other players round about him. And he's done that really well, and again, that's part of his development, his growing leadership qualities, and he's took it on board.
In the team, we've got captains all over the team. It's not just myself, I think obviously Kyle, Mitch, the ones that have played before, but it's good, it's a nice thing to have, boys come at me for certain things and stuff, but it's good to have that kind of leadership throughout the team as well, not just myself. We've learned so much as a team, and our strengths as a team and our weaknesses, but again, that's what we need to work on throughout the year. I think we've got another big 6 months of the loan league as well, so yeah, hundreds have learned.
They've qualified for the group stages, and they've done it through merit, and when I look at the games, we were unfortunate not to get a point or even a victory in the game over in Atalanta. In Zagreb, when we played them over the better side, but again we lost poor goals, difficult pitch, difficult surface. But we've played the way that we want to try and play the game, which is important. We've always believed in the way that we're trying to do, and hopefully that then the players can take great belief and confidence from that. We know there's going to be challenges along the way. Of course, the highlight of their career is hopefully not going to play in the UEFA Youth League. Ultimately, we know where the players want to get to. Our job is just to try and facilitate and give them create an environment for them to go and try and play.